Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another fun piece of ephemera. I'm really liking the multi-fold kinds of pieces that we can create from just a piece of paper, so I thought I would show you another one. Some of this comes from my card making days and some of it is new to me, but we are going to go ahead and do this together. So I've got some of these backwards. I want to show you what I did off camera. So well, let me show you the template first. That will make more sense. So this is what the template looks like. It's going to have a belly band. As I've mentioned before, I really like that feature because you can glue the back of this down and this can slide in and out. So it's removable from your journal, which is really great. So the belly band measures 1.5 inches wide by 9 inches long. And then this just flips up like this. Boom, like that. So you've just got this beautiful writing space in here. And then that wasn't enough for me. So I went ahead and made a pocket on the back and it holds 2 journal cards. Okay. So the pocket measures 4.5 by 5.5. And then the base piece here is 8.5 by 10.5 inches. It doesn't have to be exact. It just needs to be a rectangle and not like a really odd wackadoodle kind of rectangle. Like get it as close to that as you can, and then folded it as 4.25 by 5.25. Okay, so that's what we're going to make. Get that belly band over there. So this is one of them I made that has a belly band. This is using the kit. This is using I believe the paper's from I can't remember the name of it because it's not like a name of a person or a name of a business. It's kind of different. So it is linked below. This is the one where I had messaged the lady and said, hey, why is there a reason why you don't create ephemera? And she's like, well, I'll do that for you. So I'll put it on the shop. She did. So this is one of the background papers that she made. So this one goes like that. Okay. And again, it has a pocket, a little bit of a lower pocket, a little bit of decor, and it's got 3 tags in the back pocket, and then a belly band that's decorated on both sides. Now, you don't need to do that. I wasn't thinking when I put that on the back because that's not going to show. It's going to be glued down. The belly band is going to be glued down. So you could skip that part. I'm just now realizing that. That was kind of silly because it's not going to show. Okay, so there's that one, and then this is one I made for the autumn journal, and this is using papers from Wild Rose Boho. It's already previously linked, so you could check that out. This is from my porch prints. I believe it's the something autumn. I can't remember, but I will make sure it's linked as well. This has got 2 cards, one with a whale tail tab on it, and then the belly band. And then this is an image from Wild Rose Boho as well. And then I've already linked the quotes and words that I'm using in the autumn journals. And then this is one for the Sunflower Fairy journal. And this belly band is a little bit big, but it's not like everything's just gonna slip out and fall out of your journal. It'll be fine. So I made it a little bit too big, but it opens the same way, and then that'll be get glued down, and we've got that beautiful image on the back. I love that one. I think it's one of my favorites. But let me show you the inside, because this one turned out, oh, this one does have tea stain paper. Now I got a little bit off on my pocket. You can see that that's sticking out over there, but I'm not too concerned about it. I don't worry about those details. So I'm not sure what happened, but I was doing the templates and samples while I was not feeling well. Feeling a little bit better today. It is Monday the 22nd. So we're going to make 2 today. We're going to be making one for the autumn journal. I'm using a variety of papers. This I believe is from the Pumpkin Spice from Wild Rose Boho. I believe everything I have here. I'm not sure where these come from. Either probably my porch prints. Would be my guess on the butterflies, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. And this is the one for the Sunflower Fairy. So I'm going to just move some stuff out of my way. I've got my ink, my white glue, my Fabri-Tac corner rounder, which we probably won't need, but I never know. And then again, my ink. So let's go ahead and bring this over. So basically I've already cut these down. So I'm going to bring this over. You're not going to be able to see this far left side, but it is 10 3/4 by 8 1/4. So see, that's a different measurement than here, because what I found is that when I started to go make them, then it was weird because my papers, maybe they were trimmed smaller or something, but let me pull over the trimmer because I do want to show you as precisely as I can. I thought I had cut these down. Maybe I'm just, yeah, it is 10 and 10, it's a little bit more. So let's go ahead and cut that at 10 and a half just to stay with the template directions here. I've got a bunch of ink. I must have laid that on my ink pad. That's okay. So that's ready. And then it is 8 and a half. And I believe this is where I went wrong. It can't be 8 and a half. Again, when I make the template, I'm working on a white piece of paper, which is a true 8 and a half by 11. So, and that's why I'm saying that your measurements don't have to be exact. Okay. It's going to work out okay, I promise. So this is 8 and a quarter instead of 8 and a half. Okay, we're going to set that aside. We're going to need a couple tools because we're going to have to do some diagonal cuts, and I can't do that in my trimmer, so because it's too long. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. I'm grabbing a pencil. And so what we want to do is you're going to go ahead, and this is why the measurements don't matter. You're basically going to fold it in half one way and in half the other way. So hamburger, one hamburger fold and one hot dog fold. Okay. Just give that a good crease and then open it up and fold the other direction. This might change some of my measurements, but again, the template is just a guide. You can fudge these numbers and explore your own ideas about it. Okay, so there's that. So what I like to do is make a dot in the very middle so that I can see what the absolute center point is. That's going to be important. So now we're going to draw a line because I can't, if this is too long to put in my cutter, because you basically want to cut this in half. And you're going to get, you could actually get 2 pockets out of 1 page, which is pretty nifty. So I'm just lining that up to the dot. And I found that I have not been super precise with this, but you know, as I say, we don't aim for perfection here. Okay, I'm just going to go that way, and then I'm going to move this and go the rest of it, the rest of the way. Just get it as close as I can. I think that was actually pretty good. Okay, and I'm just going to use my scissors to cut that because again, it's too long for me to put in the trimmer. So I'm just going to cut all the way through. I did find that when I show you the fold here, this will make more sense, but sometimes I get a little bit of an overlap on this, but you can trim it up as needed, but I'll show you that if I bump into it. Okay. And then what I like to do is just kind of look and see which one do I like the best. That's really pretty. But I like this one better because I like that those words and stuff there. So I think I'm going to use this one for the video. Okay, so sometimes you get, oh, we've got quite a gap there though. That's interesting. I wonder why I have a gap. I'm not going to worry about it, but there is quite a gap. Something didn't get folded quite right, but I don't want to mess around too much and get all fussy about it. So I'm just going to, yeah, I can't even move that, because then I'm going to get other things out of whack. You don't want other things out of whack, right? So we're just going to call it good. I don't know. I must have cut. Let's see if this one's better for video purposes. So see how that one's actually overlapping. So something wasn't straight in my cut. So not a big deal. You could use this and just figure out what is too wide. So it looks like there's just a sliver that needs to come off. But I do prefer this one, so we're going to stick with it. I'm just going to give that a good burnish. Excuse me. Okay, so that is that. And then what we want to do is we'll work on the belly band and we'll ink. So we'll work on the belly band, we'll make it, and then we'll ink everything up, and then we'll be able to move on. I'm not sure why I made this wider. I think, oh, I did because of the butterflies are super, they're bigger. Okay, so that's why I did that. So this is long, this is wider. It is 2 inches rather than 1 inch. So your belly band again could be as thin or as thick as you want it to be. So it's already prepared. It's already trimmed down to, it should be, oh, I didn't even trim it. I'll show you how you trim it. Okay, so I like that rose there. So I want to make sure I keep that Well, and I don't want all of it because I do have this, these butterflies. So I think I'll move that over, and I just flip this over, do a light crease like that, and then finish the fold. And then give that a good burnish as well. And then throw your thing back in here. And then we do want this to have a little bit of room because we're going to be putting a pocket on this and some cards. So I'm going to give that a little bit of wiggle room. So about there, it's probably about 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch, not 1/8. But you can kind of play with that. If you guys have been following, maybe you maybe have already experienced that, but see how it's too long, so we'll just cut some off. So I just put it in here and then just kind of make a mark about approximately where I can trim that. So I'm just going to make a mark there, and then I'm not even going to use my cutter. I'm just going to use my scissors and just trim that piece off like so. Yeah, because that back is not going to show again. Okay, so now that we're good there, I'm going to go ahead and glue this, and then I'm going to ink everything up, and then I'll be back for the next step. So I'm inking all the edges on the outside edges on this, this side of the paper. I'm inking all of the edges. When I flip it over to the writing space, I'm not going to ink this edge and this edge, but everything else will be inked because I like that look. Again, that is personal preference. Almost done here. Super easy project, guys. You could make it any size you wanted to. It would be fun to see how little you could go. I always like to try that. Like, what's the littlest hidden paper clip you could do? What's the littlest little book you could do? Okay, so that is that, and I love that, and I like it just like it is. I'm not happy with that gap, though. I'm not sure, again, what happened there, but we're going to embrace the imperfection. I do notice that this is kind of weak here, but I'm not bothered by it. It's 65-pound paper is what I printed on. So now we can go ahead and work on decorating our belly band. So it's going to go on here like this. So we've got 2 butterflies. And I'm feeling like that one's kind of big. And I don't know that I care for all that green in that one. So I think I'm going to go for this one. Plus it'll be easier to ink. So let me ink this up really quick too. Again, I think this is from my Porch Prints. I printed a bunch of her old stuff that I had. Gosh, what could I can't think of that autumn kit that she does. Autumn Afternoon, I think it's what it's called. Got a lot of great fussy cuts. So I'm just gonna, I printed a bunch. I probably won't use much of them because I'm not gonna make a huge deal with these journals. As I've said before, I'm struggling a little bit with the season, so I might be moving on sooner than later. That inked up really, really beautiful, didn't it? I love it. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Now I'm going to bring this down because I'd rather have the pressure on the bottom of the wings than on the top of the butterfly, on the antennae. So I'm going to, shall we do it at a tilt? What do you think? Could kind of go like that. I think I'm going to make it straight. I'm just going to come it down. So I can glue all of this other than these 2 edges at the bottom. So I'm not going to do my typical pencil mark that I've showed you how I create that kind of line to know how far to put my glue. I think we should be fine on this one. A little bit on the antennae. Oh, that was a lot of glue, Cara-Renee. Yikesies. Okay. Let's try this again. And again, I'm going to bring it down just so that the antennae get past that edge. I want to make sure those are protected. That is so beautiful. Look at that. So beautiful. Okay, so now we need to work on the pocket. So I'm going to set that aside, and this should be my pocket. So I'm going to set some things out of the way because I did not Did I score it? No, I did not score it. So this pocket measures, and I'm just going to make sure I'm right on target here. So, oh, that's 4 3/4. Oh yeah, 4 3/4 by what? What did I do? What did I do? It needs to go this way or this way. So yeah, that's right. But because it feels like it's not the right dimensions, I'm going to turn this over, and I'm just going to make my own score lines with my pencil, because I think I'm a little off on my measurements. I'm not sure why, other than I was preparing this when I was not feeling well over the weekend. I had 2 of the grandkids over for a while on Saturday. Had a great time with my grandson. He is just a delight. Yeah, we had a really nice time. We went to Cascade Station, which is in Portland, over by the IKEA, and he helped me shop. I needed to find some t-shirts because I'm like, this is on my agenda today. When I said I would help her, and she's like, oh, he won't mind, and so he went with me, and he actually helped me pick out cute t-shirts, so that was kind of fun. And then we went to Barnes & Noble over there, and then we went and got ice cream, and yeah, it was really good. So I'm gonna, this is different than my pencil marks apparently, but we'll see how we do here. So you're gonna miter those corners. I like to miter the top corners as well, just so you don't see that bit, and then that line is throwing me for a loop. I'm going to erase that pencil line because it's confusing me. Let's see. I don't think we're going to be right here. Let me see. Let's line that up. Oh, I should be okay. I'm going to bend this one in and see how close we're getting to that edge, because I might have to rescore that because I did not do a very good job of it. So let's see. Yeah, it's not far enough over, so I need to move that score line over. I don't know what happened. And on this trimmer, I have to move it down this way, so I'm going to just kind of try to estimate a little bit here what I need to do. Is that over? It's over some. I'm not a measurer, you guys. Measuring drives me crazy. Did not even really bring it over here. I just don't want it to hang over. That looks okay. No, it doesn't. We're hanging over. I'm going to rescore that, guys. Oh, for heaven's sake. Let's try one more time. You guys get me, don't you? I'd rather have it be too small than too big. Now that I've done this, so I'll have to miter that corner again, because why is that not moving it over? Oh my goodness. It's so hard to work with this paper too when it's so thick. So let's see if that's any better. Yeah, we're gonna call it good, guys. Okay, so, and then we'll miter this corner as well. I was just having trouble seeing those lines. Okay, I'm gonna get my bone folder here. Boy, I'm a hot mess, literally. I work so hard at work that I'm just like, I come home and I just feel like I stink so bad. I'm gonna start my at home in the bedroom walking cardio walk. It's a 15-minute mile, and I'm starting that back up tonight, so I got to get this under control, my life. So I like that, but I think it's a little bit, oh shoot, I should have cut some off the bottom before I did that. I'm going to keep it that height because I don't want to lose that flower at the top. So I am going to give this a thumb notch here, so I'm just going to grab my corner, my circle punch here. It is a 1-inch punch, and I'm just aiming for the center. Again, I don't strive for perfection. And let me ink this up really quick. Okay. Looks like I didn't ink the back, so I'm gonna grab that edge and this edge just in case anything shows. Okay, make sure that we're going the right way. I mean, it wouldn't matter if you didn't, unless you had directional paper, and I prefer that contrasty side up at the top. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use my white glue and put some glue on all 3 sides. I just got glue on the inside of that. Get that off of there. Okay. I think this is my favorite kit from Wild Rose Boho in her fall series. I just really love the peachy color. See, it's hanging over just a little bit. So we're just going to make it hang over evenly if we can. Not a big deal. Give that a good crease. That helps that glue to really sit in there. So that's beautiful. Okay, so we do have a little bit of a hangover, but I'm not too concerned about it. I will just ink it, you know, as I say. Ink covers a multitude of sins, so to speak. Just gives a layered look. That's what I'm going to say anyways. So now we've got 2 cards that can go in here. It's simple. Love these images. So she provides them, and these are a large page as well, but she provides them already smaller, which is, I love that. I love that about her work, because often you don't get that that sized down version of the image, and it feels like everything's big when you're making, you know, a tag or something with a larger page. So I always like it when creators do that. So go. I'm going to just ink these up real quick. I thought I had a whale tail tab already cut, but I don't. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'm just going to stick these in here, and then I'll put a whale tail punch on one of those, or a tab on one, and it'll stick up above the top. So that is it. And I will put a word or something on this. I'm not going to do that on camera. And I'm just making sure everything is nice and secure with our little butterfly. And then this just slides in here. Don't be too tight. Oh my goodness. Shouldn't be, except we've got a hangover on that edge. That's why it's a little bit tighter, but it's not a problem. Okay, as long as it'll go on, you're good. And it will loosen up over time as you slide it in and out. So I don't ever have any trouble. But isn't that beautiful? Such a simple fold. Such a simple fold, and I love that, and that'll get glued down to the journal page. So let's go ahead and do the fairy one, which is my favorite. So let's see what our pieces are. So we've got some quotes, and we've got a whale tail. That's where the whale tail, I think that's the one I was thinking was for that, but we'll use it here. So this is our stuff that's going to go inside, and a little bit of decorating pieces. And I'm going to just move some stuff out of my way. Don't turn off the video with the mouse, Renee. Okay, so let's see what size this is. So I do apologize, this is off to my left. So it is 10.5 already by, it looks like I sized this one, 10.5 by 8. So that will be fine. It's going to be a little bit different dimension because it's not 8.25, and that's probably just because of the way the paper printed on the other side. So that's 8 inches, which I'm going to show you it doesn't matter. So that's a great example. So again, you're going to fold it in half. Try to get those lines as straight as possible, because that might be part of the problem with what happened with the other one. See, I can already see I'm off. So I'm going to try to get one side even. So I'm going to go like that, and then we might have to trim off this top to get it, top and bottom a little bit to get it straight, because I'm not sure. Well, that edge looks good, but this one's a little off. So let's go ahead and just trim a smidge off of that. Hopefully this will work out okay. Yeah, just a hair's breadth, as Angela Kerr would say. Yeah, I was so pleased. I saw her kind of do a shout out, and she did a video on her channel of my triple belly band project, which I was like, oh, I feel famous. Angela Kerr. Which, you know, we've done that with each other before, so that's kind of cool, but it was pretty neato. Okay, so I'm going to just try to line that up again as best I can. Again, don't sweat about it. Unless you're one of those people, you know, that really bothers you, then you can be much more precise than I am being. I used to be that person, but I'm not anymore. So there we go. So we've got our folds. So I'm going to again make that pencil mark in the very middle, And I'm going to hope to get this a little bit better. So I'm going from that point to the center dot. Okay, and we're just going to do the best we can, right? Do the best you can. I'm going to actually go to the center dot, and then I'm going to go the rest of the way. And I'm going to get closer to that pencil line. I think that might be part of my problem is I'm bringing my ruler when I'm lining up that second bit that I'm going too far over. So let's see if that's any better. That looks pretty good. Okay. We'll see. It's not in the center though. I need to fix that because that's gonna be wonky. That didn't line up to the center point. So just erase it. Try again. It's a work night, you know what I say. It's always tricky. Let's see if that's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so now I'm gonna just cut up that center line, and I'm gonna try to stay on the line because I didn't stay on the line before, and I think that might be why we had some problems. The ideal thing would be for you to be able to trim it in your cutter, but I just don't have anything that will do that. It's too long of a piece at an angle. Again, don't fret. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect. Nothing is, right? I'm going over that line. Oh my heavens. There we go. So this one, it's not going to matter which one we use because it's just a background paper. But let's look anyway because I think some of it has some different tones. Oh, I really like those. Which one do you like better? I think I like this one. Let's see how that lined up. So see how straight that is? Actually, both of them turned out pretty good on that one. So we'll set that one aside for another one I'll probably do off camera. So I'm going to go ahead and just give that a good crease on both folds. Okay. Yeah. And so it can open like this, or it can open like this. It's up to you. I think I want this. Okay. I think which is the same as I did before. So see how we can see that center, but that is all right. So let's see what this is. I think this one I already cut down. Yeah, it's already 9 inches. So this is just another contrasting paper. So I'm going to put that around it, and I'm going to make it about even because I know it's the right length. So I'm just going to go about there and then just give that a soft press, and then finish that off with a hard crease. I love this paper. This is paper from Riley Graphics. It should be linked below. If for whatever reason you don't see something that you expect to see, you can just let me know. Okay. I'm trying to get some videos done in the early part of the week so that I can do a Sunday's Art of Truth. Depending on how things go this week, I would love to get messy with some mixed media. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to give a little more room. That other one was pretty tight. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Oh, I guess I do have a pocket. I think it's in those papers I just set aside. I was wondering if I forgot again. So I'm going to just test this and see. How are we doing, Cara-Renee? Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's what you're kind of looking for. So let me glue this, and then we got a little bit more than we need, but that's okay. I can go about 1/2 inch. That's what I have there. Okay. And then I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to ink both these pieces up, and I'll be right back. I feel like that's enough inking. Okay, so we're going to go like that. And again, you could do it this way as well. It's just going to open a different way. I don't think it really matters, quite honestly. But I don't like how this feels weaker up here, this paper. So I'm not sure if a person could use a heavier stock paper and feel a little bit better about that. So that is our base. And then I have something for the pocket. I can't remember which one's for the pocket. Oh no, did I do a pocket? Oh no, I didn't. I don't have a pocket piece. Okay, give me a quick second. I forgot. Let's just use this piece. This will be fun. Will be fine. Fine and dandy. So I'm going to use my grid and just kind of play around with this. I'm going to make a 1/4 inch mark for my gusset, and then the same on this side. Right there. Hopefully that will be a little bit better. And then I can cut here, and then I'm already cutting there, and then we'll do the next measurement here in a sec. I apologize, I thought I had that done, but I clearly did not. So I'm just going to cut that on that outside pencil line. Okay. And okay, now we can do our score lines. So we'll cut this down in height here when we get done. I like to just get this all done now so that we don't have to fuss with it. Okay, are we on the line? Not quite. I think my eyes are playing tricks on me right now. There we go. So that's that, and then we can do our bottom score line, and then we'll do the other score line. I'm gonna go a little bit to the inside just because I would rather err on it being too small than being too big. So I just shifted that just over a smidge. You guys can't even see that, can you? Come on, move, not that much. Not that much. There we go. Play it safe, okay? So I don't want it to be that tall, so I'm gonna bring this up lower than that, and I'm gonna go about here. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a pencil mark there because I want to see that blue on the back because I really love that turquoise color. It looks very magical. There we go. Done with the cutter. So I'm gonna go ahead and miter. No, that's way over. Oh my goodness gracious, Cara-Renee. Where's the bottom score line? Didn't you see? Oh, did I cut off the bottom? I bet I cut off the bottom. I did. I did. I gotta do that again. Oh my goodness. I cut off the wrong end. Heavens to Betsy, as they say. For those of you who are young, you maybe have never heard that phrase before. Something I grew up with. Okay, I'm gonna miter those corners. Got an extra thick score line over here, or gusset. That's okay, doesn't hurt. There we go. Okay, so we've got our bottom. And one side. There we go. How's that looking? A little bit small. Better small than too big. It'll be fine. We'll be able to see that blue around it. So I'm just going to give this a little thumb notch. I don't like them to be too deep in this case. And I'm just going to ink this up and glue it on. I must have threw that other paper away because I could have swore I dreamt about this piece. So I think I'm going to actually move the pocket up a little bit so I can see the color on all sides. So we do have a margin of blue around it now. It's either one way or the other, right? Either too big or too small. But that's the beautiful thing about handmade things, is that there's no, you're not creating for perfection. You're creating because it's fun, and handmade is fun, and it's an experiment. It's the great experiment, right? So I'm going to kind of try to get that even on both sides so that we've got a little bit of blue showing all around. Sorry for my watch. It's I didn't turn off the sound and the vibration. I have it on during the day so that if somebody messages me, I can check my phone. But there we go. So that is that. Butamus. I actually kind of like that. So there's, you know, there's no wrong way. Okay. So where did our belly band go? Right there. So I was thinking about doing something with one of these images for the belly band and just doing, oh, I think this one would be so pretty because it's so blue. It would be really pretty on the front. Yeah. Oh, look at that. So pretty. So the other thing that you could do, which is another thought, is one could glue this, and I think I did this on my very first white template when I was playing around with this, is you could bring this in like this and glue this half on and then Velcro this one. And you could still have a belly band. What do you think? I don't want to steer you off the track though too much, but I think we won't do that this time, but that is an option as well, as you could glue one side and then leave the other side and Velcro it. But we're going to continue on. So we need to cut this down because it's too big for our belly band. So let me grab, I'm not a big, so another thing you probably don't know about me, I don't like the moon, but I love these sunflower fairies so much that I'm dealing with it. There's a moon in a lot of the images. So I'm going to try to get rid of it in this one just for today. And I'm going to be able to, so I am embracing it. It's a hard thing. So, so that is still a little bit too big. So I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom as well. Uh-oh, we got a bunch of paper in there. What? Okay, so let's look at the dimensions now and see how that's feeling. I feel like it's still a little bit big. So I'm going to take a little bit more off the bottom and I'm going to take a little bit off the sides. I am really enjoying being in the studio and creating a lot of ephemera. You know, I create my template and I create a sample and then I create a bunch of other ones. And that's helping me get ephemera for my journals and helping me to provide to you a shorter video where I'm not doing, you know, multiples in it. I kind of ran out of time and I still wanted to do 2 more. So I'm like, we'll just do it that way this time. But I love that. Look at that. But I think I want some of that yellow trim because I love that yellow. I'm going to grab some real quick. I just absolutely love this trim. So we are going to just put it on there and yeah. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I wonder if we should put it to the top. No, that looks weird. Yeah, but I do want to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it on and then I'll even that out. I'm just going to reach for a paper towel just for some glue pushing. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty. Yellow is my favorite color in case you guys didn't know that. I just absolutely adore yellow. So this time I'm going to show, you know, we're going to review that trick. So I like to turn it over and then I'm just going to I Spy it from side to side. Well, side to side doesn't matter as much as top and bottom right now for this step. And I'm going to make a pencil mark on each of those edges. And then that's where I know I don't want the glue here and here. I just want it in the middle. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. So that's going to go on here. We need to decorate this pocket as well though because it's too plain. So I got a few images. I think these 2 were for the pockets. So we'll have to use this one for here. So I think we'll cut it down similarly to what we did here. Maybe not exact. Sorry, I got to pull the cart back over with my trimmer on it. Let me just cut this one down as well. I'd really rather cut out some of the sunflower and keep as much of the carriage as possible there, but I don't want it to be too rectangular either. So there we go. It's just a little bit of decoration. I think a blue separating piece would be pretty here. So let me see if I've got, oh I do, it's right there. I've got a scrap. I can see through my little pouch. Oh, that's a different one, but it's kind of cool. I think I'd rather use the same one I was using though. I think this is the same paper. So let's kind of bring in a little bit of that turquoise as well. So I'm just gonna mark this here, and then I'll trim it. I'll probably do about 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch wide bit there. Normally I wouldn't cut a large piece like that and waste that paper. But I'm loving that color. It's not going to be that thick, so don't you worry. Somewhere I lost that pencil mark, so I'll have to make it again. Nope, we're too far over. This is the, you know, I say it's the lazy way, but it's really, would probably be easier and more time saving to just measure, but not a big fan of it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and trim that there. Okay, and then we'll do about 1.5 inches, I think, right about there. I'll make sure we got it going the right way, for pity's sake. For pity's sake, let's do that. 1.5 inches. Sometimes I make things very hard on myself, I realize. But I always like that separating, because I feel like doing this, you bring all the colors together. You bring all the ideas together and they look really harmonious. That's my impression. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but it works in my brain. So we're going to go ahead and glue this on as well. Okay. About there. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't have to be halfway. Doesn't have to be any particular way, but I like that separation. I think it always adds a neat feature. And then our little carriage will go right there. Oh, that's so cute. I don't want to put anything on the back as far as lace, because this is going to get, the belly band is going to get stuck down. So we'll have to create something on the belly. Did we put something on the belly band? We did, didn't we? What? Cara-Renee, just say what? What is wrong with you today? Okay, just aiming. I don't know that my notch is in the center, so I'm not going by that. But that is it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our cards, which are going to fit in the pockets. So I'm just going to take a moment, and I think I cut one smaller. I did. I'm going to round the corners and ink it up, and then we're going to put a whale tail punch on the top, and I'll be right back. So I just realized that I moved that pocket up slightly, so these are probably going to be too tall. They are, so I'm going to have to cut something off. Doggone it. This one's going to be fine. This one's fine. The other one is too tall. Sometimes it takes a bit to get that to fit in with the gusset, but I need to trim this one down, so I'm bummed about that, because I really didn't want to lose that flame up at the top. Well, I guess I could cut some off the bottom. Let's do that. Boy, I thought I was so prepared on this second one, but I'm clearly not. It's okay, you guys hang with me, right? And if you don't like utter chaos, then, you know, you can move along. You can move along. I won't be offended. There we go. So, but now, well, we have the yellow. I think a yellow is a good complementary color. I'm tempted to use a piece of that blue turquoise paper, but I think we'll just use this one. Maybe I'll use the blue on something else. There we go. I'm just gonna put this baby on, and then we're gonna put our words on, and then we'll be done. I love the little fairy words. They're so cute. One says magical, and the other one says fairy wings. I told a little girl at recess. Oh, I have this fan. I told you guys I made this fan. I just took a piece of this kit of 2 pieces, and I put them back to back, and I laminated it so I have a fan in my bag. And so the kids have seen it, and one of the gen ed kids from the general education class, she saw it. Oh, now it's too wide. Oh my heavens. I'm not going to be able to trim those. I'm going to take that off because I'm not going to be able to trim those edges or round those edges again. I'm just going to take off a little bit. So anyway, she's like, you like fairies? And I'm like, yeah. I said, I believe in fairies. Do you believe in fairies? She's like, yeah, I believe in fairies. So it's pretty sweet. So it's a fun thing. I don't really believe in fairies because I don't believe in magical things, but I believe in the power of imagination, and I think it's a healthy thing. And I think it's a healthy thing for children to have, you know, within reason. But so they just are tickled. So when they see the fan, they always want to see my fairy. So it's kind of sweet. So there we go. So now I can put that welt. I wouldn't have been able to get the corner rounder in there again with that punch on, or with that tab on, because I flubbed that up. So we'll just attach it again. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. And just put that on there, and I'm going to turn it over and see. Oh, we're terribly crooked. Not centered, rather. It's better. Okay. And that's going to go behind the other card, like so. I don't mind if it sticks up a little bit, but that's my gusset getting in the way. I can feel it. Maybe. That's good enough. Okay, so let's put our belly band back on. So it goes this way in actuality. So even though we have that pocket, this is actually the front. I mean, in my opinion, you could do either way. And that was perfect. Perfect size belly band. So you don't want it too loose and you don't want it too tight. So that's going to be fine. And again, it loosens up as you work in the journal, as you pull it in and out. What is it hung up on, though? My goodness. There we go. Look at that. Striking. I love that. Oh, so beautiful. Now we covered up our little thing, but that's okay because you're going to see that when you take it out. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me give me a second to cut these out. I have, again, been lazy and I have not finished fussy cutting the stuff. I love me some fairies. And this one definitely needs to go on the front for the fairy wings. Well, both, I guess we could put one down here, put magical on the other side. But we'll go ahead with this on the front with our little fairy and her wings. I'm going to go about, I'm just going to kind of go off that just a slight bit. Actually, I don't want to go off of it because I'm concerned about the stability of that. So I'm going to make sure those words look straight because the digital itself, the edges are crooked on purpose. So we will go ahead and put this one on the back. Maybe we'll put it down here because that's not moving. So that will be a good place for that. So guys, I thank you so much for stopping by again. And I hope that you guys are doing well and that life is treating you well. I know that there are things in the world that are a little bit crazy. And so I hope that you are able to hold on to and look to whatever brings you peace. No matter what your beliefs are, no matter where you fall politically, we should all be concerned about the things that are happening in the world. So peace to you. I know where I find my peace, and so I hope that you are well acquainted with what brings your soul to a place of release, letting go, not harboring a lot of really harsh feelings. I have to work really hard at that. But I do have a place that I put them, and I'm really grateful that I can just give them to God and say, I don't understand what's happening. And so will you just take this and give me peace in my heart? So that's my little spiel for today. So that is it, my friends. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.